since I would say February, March of last year, 2023, that is when I started getting back into the market. That is when I started investing. And publicly on Twitter, that's when I started making trades again, started getting interested in being a part of the market again, because end of 2022 was really bad, honestly. It was really, really bad. But it was kind of a cleansing, nature healing itself because of the incredible volatility and, nascency of the crypto space that we reside in, right? Again, I put myself on the line with a lot of my calls, talking to you publicly, mostly on Twitter at this point, publicly about when I enter into new projects. Because again, at the very least, guys, you can learn from me. If you don't want to take part in this market, you can at least learn from me, right? And I've had a lot of ups and I've had a lot of downs. And personally with this market right now where I'm at, if you remember in December, if you've been watching the channel, we talked about how kind of warning people in December that, the market has already gone up a lot. And that was around when we went to 50K, when we were sitting at around 50K, right at the start of the year. Actually, no, December was lower than that, 45K. And at that moment in time, a lot of the belief came back into the markets pretty quickly. So a lot of crypto native people who pay attention to the price action of crypto started to believe again that we could possibly continue higher. And then obviously from January up until where we're at now, we've gone up incredibly quickly and people have made a lot of money and it's been a good time. But what I will say is, this market is highly correlated to the liquidity that's coming in and out of the stock market, the S&P. And liquidity as a whole is what's driving crypto as an asset class, because of the fact that on most risk curves, crypto is seen as the riskiest because it's the newest. And no matter what proponents of Bitcoin we might say have store of value type proponents or digital gold type proponents, the first place that people are pulling their liquidity and pulling their risk is going to be from the crypto market. So whenever we have uncertainty such as global conflict, you're going to see an extremely quick drain of the crypto market. But what I will say, the only way to get around this is to have a long-term outlook on the market. So that means that if the only time that you're getting interested in crypto is when Bitcoin's at 60K or hitting all-time highs and you didn't pay attention to the market at all in 2023, you're probably going to have had a harder time because you probably made a lot of your entries right at the top. And now I know this for a fact because I talk to people in real life about this on a day-to-day basis, people who are just getting into the space who made this mistake and now are underwater on positions. So my hope is that, you'll be able to see that the game is actually one that is a long-term game. Despite how reflexive and volatile crypto is, if you can zoom out and realize that if you're just here and outnumber the amount of people who are not willing to be here, who are more of a tourist in the space, you're going to end up doing well. But it takes patience, extreme patience, because crypto's not going up all the time. And we are going to see massive, deep retraces in the market. Whoever's telling you there's going to be a super cycle, in my opinion, is wrong. I don't think there is such a thing. We don't know, based on even history at this point, we don't know where the crypto markets can go because of the fact that now we have a real derivative that exists that anyone can buy into, institutions included, which is the Bitcoin ETF. This has changed the game for crypto and Bitcoin forever. And we're going to have to see how the market reacts and how Bitcoin as an asset now plays out based on that huge addition to its kind of mechanics, right, as an asset. What I'm really getting at here is that if you are struggling to see the light because you bought the top of this recent local rally and you're down on your positions, or you're freaking out, or you have high emotions at this moment in time, I would say that you're probably someone who has just recently entered the space, was once in the space, has not consistently kept up with it. And I urge you, again, this is my opinion, I urge you to zoom out and see if there is a way in which you can see how you can play this market for the long term, meaning years. Because if you start zooming out and looking at how can I play this market successfully in the long term, the short term will take care of itself. And that's just my opinion. Again, we'll see how that plays out for me. I will publicly make calls on projects and Bitcoin and whatever else happens in the space. And I will live or die by those calls, right? But at least you'll have the ability to see someone transparently, sharing this information with you, and we see where it goes, right? This is all an experiment at the end of the day. But I just wanted to get on here and say that I don't think this is the end of this recent rally. I think we definitely needed to cool off, but a lot of what's happening right here with Bitcoin is directly correlated to liquidity leaving the S&P. And today, for example, the S&P bounced a little bit, and so Bitcoin bounced a little bit because people are ready to pull the plug at any moment, guys. The market itself is ready to pull the plug at any moment if there's any fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And the only way to combat this, because you can't predict it, you genuinely cannot predict it. The only way to avoid being hit too hard by this is by outlasting the tourists. And so you have to ask yourself, are you a tourist or you are here for a significant amount of time into the future? This is my belief. If I put in the time, I will be rewarded for me putting in the time and the work. If I don't, then I have no excuses if things go wrong. So I'm willing to put in the time. Are you willing to put in the time? That's the question. I hope you guys are all doing well. Please leave a like on this video. Please share, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Donate to the channel, support the channel by seeing the link below to my kaspa address. Some of you have already donated. I appreciate the hell out of you. It's just to support the channel because I don't take ads. And that's all. Peace.